Well, good evening or good afternoon, as it may be, to two Barubers, he and she, elsewhere, and all over the place. So that would be, shall we say, everyone. Sorry, short talk in the trailer with the old guy. That means you're talking about somebody who's got, like, say, prejudices, and he's so narrow minded and old fashioned. So anyhow, thanks Jockey for reminding me, Tuberuber. I kind of like that. And so maybe that'll be my intro from now on. I don't know. I still haven't figured out how that's going to work out. Maybe I should get a theme song. Yeah, that's right. Welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back, Cotter. That's an old TV show. I guess I could get the theme song from that. I don't know how to paste it in. But welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. That's basically what the song was about. So welcome back to you viewers. Hey, I just want to think about, there's a guy named Jamal. He's a black guy, if that'll help. I mean, how many white guys do you know with the name Jamal? But anyhow, nothing racist here. This dude's great. He's straight up. This guy's a solid people. And you know what's happening to him right now is the screw tube sensorizers are leaning on him real hard. And his, shall we say, subscriber numbers are falling through the floor. Willy-nilly. Like 13 and 14,000 of them practically overnight. Okay, so they're unsubscribing him because they don't want to pay him. They don't want to subsidize him. You know what he's doing? He's spreading truth. He's spreading reasonable analysis. He's spreading concern and real-time discussion about what's really happening. Jamal, he good people. And I enjoy watching his vids. That guy's a pro. And the thing is that I'm going to switch this here. Speaking of pros, what a con you are. Okay, sorry. Pros and cons, you see. But anyhow, I'm looking at things like today, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm so glad I went to work today. I was getting involved today with a little remodel. Now, I didn't film anything on site. So far, it's like it's a remodel job, and the lady has a whole lot of ideas that she wants to fulfill. And I don't blame her. I mean, it's her house. But it's going to be a lot of work. And so today we finally it was amazing to me how long it took me to figure this out. It wasn't that complicated, but I sure made it that way. And I tried to figure this darn water system out and kept making mistakes. Kept thinking, well, why did I put that there? So anyhow, it was overall satisfying in that we got the water turned back on in the house so she can, you know, at least jump in a shower or something, because she still stays there at night. Even though the house is like, it's like when you have when somebody moves in, all the boxes and stuff, all the stuff that came off the moving van, it hadn't been unboxed yet. Well, so I really don't know what's going on here because she's lived there for years. But it looks a lot like that on the inside of the house. And so we're going to make it happen. I got to change out some stuff. I got to move some stuff. And maybe I'll have time to film a video. But it's one of those deals when you get into remodels, you got to consider there's a lot of things that you don't see. There's things that have to be done which you didn't remember. Like, so today I drove out of that place. We'd been in there over 8 hours. And it suddenly occurred to me, now wait a minute. Hold it. Hold the phone, Louise. That's what I say. Hold the phone, Louise. Wait a minute. That water she wants to put in, the lady has intentions of mounting a Renai. And there's nothing wrong with that. Renai's a good product. All of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute. Where's the gas coming from? We don't have gas available. What are we going to do? Dig up the yard? Cut in a T? All of a sudden this is getting sketchy real fast. Am I piping something through the ceiling even though the drywall hasn't been taken down? I mean, So I was thinking, this is going to get weird. It's going to take days and days. So anyway, maybe I'll just kind of film a overall summary because, I mean, blow by blow, this job's going to have a lot of stuff going on. And my boss, Kev, he's a good dude. He already knows it. So that's why he's putting me on it. Because he knows or believes, and I think rightly so, that I'm gonna get involved here. I'm gonna get personally interested, and I'm gonna make it my personal mission to make this job right. Like, here's an example. The lady had outdoors. Now, there's a difference between a silkcock and a hose bib, and I'm not going to wear you out. But the point is, one's male, one's female, and don't ask if you don't know what that means. It's all sexual and stuff, see? But the net result is, in the situation where you have a hose bib, you have a horizontal with a downspout with a handle on top. In the sense of a silkcock, you got a flat brass flange, we'll call it, that makes up to the stucco or the brick or the outer veneer, whatever the exterior of the building is, and terminates at the proper distance. Because it's threaded, you got to get the right length nipple. Duh. And so, anyhow, we're getting into some of that kind of, it's not hard stuff to figure out, but it's just like measly on the brain. It's like, oh, don't forget to bring in the right length nipple. So today we stuck it out too far because we couldn't make it happen. We didn't carry the right size brass nipple. It was 1/2 by 3.5. So in brass, you only go 1/2 inch increments. 1/2 by close, which means basically all threads. 1/2 by 1.5 inch, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, etc. Now, after 6, it transitions to 1-inch increments. After 6, the nearest one is 7, then 8, then 9, then up to 12. After that, it gets sketchy. I guess you could always bring in a stick of brass and thread your own length nipples, but I've never heard of any plumber ever doing that. I mean, it would make sense in a way to get custom cut nipples, but nobody's going to do plumbing that way, because if your silkcock sticks out too far, let's say an extra 1/4 inch from where it should have been, nobody cares. You just fill it up with silicone. We did that on purpose. And so the idea is, as we get into these things, I'm thinking of Jamal, and there's others, and Russell Brand. He's talking about censorship too. You should listen to Russell. He's an interesting dude, and I think he's straight up. I don't care whether he's a Christian or not. I love his mind. I love his attitude. I love his heart. And at some point, I'll have to shear off from him. At some point, we'll have to disagree. But we don't have to disagree about everything now, do we? And the guy's straight up. He's good people. But the thing is that I was just thinking today, well, I did that video last night, which was all kind of about me. And, I thought, I don't know if there's any real demand for that. Let's face it, who cares? The bread and butter of my life, the thing that makes me tick, is I want to speak words of truth into our environment in our time by the means we have available, which is this channel right here. So what is the words of truth? It isn't, gee, Mike Labor's a fascinating guy. No, the words of truth is, look to Jesus. Look to the Maker. See, we got a whole crazy world going on down here. Days of Noah are coming on, I think. We might get downright involved in that stuff. Oh my gosh, they're talking about building mutant humanity. Humanity 2.0. Humanity, the next step up, the next evolutionary leap. Which of course they're going to infuse with AI, with kind of quantum processing. Oh, that sounds wonderful. This blasphemy, this walking error, which shall be, is the final insult to the Father. As if his making, as if his creating of humanity 1.0, that's you and me, wasn't good enough. That it was lacking something, you see. And the thing it lacked was 2.0, making it link with quantized AI. Oh, no. And that linkage becoming kind of a broadband connection or something causes the human to become something other than what a human being was on the inside. In other words, they want to link directly into your cervical cortex up here. Is it called cervical cortex? Who can remember? Anyway, up here in your frontal lobes. When they want to put you to sleep, when they want to make you go away, they give you a frontal lobotomy. But at the same point, that's the link point when you're talking about In other words, the thing that makes you totally stupid and without motivation is the same thing that makes you vital, interested, activated, and on page. So he builds our minds, he builds our hearts, he strengthens our souls, he works within us and among us because he's good. But part of what's happening, as far as I can see it, is that the censorship, think back to Jamal, and there's others, think of Russell. Russell Brand, the British authorities are trying to do basically a Brett Kavanaugh on him. A Clarence Thomas. They're trying to pull a Clarence Thomas on him. And everybody can see it's phony, except the prosecutors and the judges. So it's a farce. It has to play itself out. And we ask for, among ourselves as believers, we ask for patience from you, Almighty. We ask for endurance from you who endured all things in order to gain the victory. Stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful prayer. Go there. You'll do well. But what I'm saying is it goes even further than that. When we're thinking about how the world's kind of falling apart real bad, like the wheels are falling off, and people are just going, let's face it, batshit crazy, you can't make them sane again. Not you, not me. Now God can, and for that we pray, right? We ask God to intervene because as we see the people with the wheels falling off, not only in the culture, not only in the society, but personally and individually, they're beginning to lose their minds. And we can see it. It's ugly. But we can't fix it. But what we do is we call upon the Maker, the Mighty One, the Holy One. See, this is the one they forgot. This is the one they X'd out. This is the one they held it. In football, there's a thing called stiff arming. This is the one they stiff armed out. But he ain't going to buy that. Oh, no. He owns the show. He owns everything. Reality is his deal, man. And so anyway, the point is, if there is one, is that as we consider, the accusations, censorship, the Jamal, we love you, man. I hope your channel flourishes again and you do well because, you're just good people. That's all. But us YouTuber, hey, smoke another one, knucklehead. I smoked a cigarette a little while ago because that's the echo of it. Been noticing a lot of coughing lately. It's kind of like, hey, take a hint, gringo. Knock it off on the nicotine thing. And, it would save me a lot of money. I mean, let's face it. Cigarettes are expensive. But I do like nicotine. Let's deal with that, too. I mean, I'm not here to fool anybody. I'm not here to blow smoke up your proverbial hoo-hoo. I'm just here to tell you what I think. And it's sad to say, but it's true. Maybe you and I, viewer and producer, maybe you could become a producer too. It isn't that hard. Even I figured it out, and I don't understand anything about digital stuff. I had to have friends help me set up this channel. Let's face it. I couldn't have done it by myself. I didn't know which buttons to push. None of it makes sense to me. It's just all gibberish. But I'm glad I have this avenue. And the point is, cutting back to the chase, when we think about Jamal, we think about creators being crushed or their revenue distorted or dwindled because their content is too true and too real. Their content is too close to the bone for it to be revealed just now. Truth will out. There are no secrets anymore. At some point or another, Jesus Christ is showing up in person. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And when he does, I mean, it's like the Furious One. Who? The Almighty, Mr. I Am Who Be. What do you call it? Uncreated fury in person. Oh, you don't want to cross him up. You're going to lose, man. And so we preach Jesus into this mayhem. In other words, Jamal, be blessed, man. You know what? and for you and you and you and you and you and you who are suffering and having weird things happen in your life where you feel all confused and lost and stuff. It's like, is there anyone who speaks English in the neighborhood? I mean, you feel all alone. And he solves for that. He's the one who hears. He's the one who sees. He's the one who speaks. And when he does in your life, you begin to speak differently yourself to others. You begin to begin, as they say, transparent. I hate the word transparent because it's so untransparent. In other words, it sounds a little bit like this. You need to be more transparent in my estimate. That's very interesting, but that was a non-transparent statement. In other words, in order to sell transparency, you have to be hiding something. And Christians can see things like this. You can too, you know it. And so trust who you trust, but make it be about the better. And I mean, Jesus himself, he's the trustable one. He's the one who trusted Father above. He's the faith man. He not only is the one we believe in, but we believe with and through him. In other words, we're in communion. It's like a connection, a living connection. It's new life. It has nothing to do with me sobering up and making my way straight and solving my own problems. Oh no, he's so much better. Now, it's not as if God approves of wickedness or evil actions. I'm not trying to suggest that. But what I'm saying is we keep trying to straighten up and fly right on our own and then to appear before Yahweh. And he always destroys that because he's so good and faithful. I approach him as a failure. I approach him as an ethical failure, a moral failure, a human failure, a son failure. If there's a category of an employee failure, if there's a category available, a church member failure, I qualify. He didn't come to save the righteous. He came to save sinners. And I tell you right now, I qualify. I got that sin thing nailed in the butt. And I don't want to. I want to live right. I want to live according to the pattern he laid down. Am I doing it? Well, here and there. But it's a beginning. You got to start somewhere. I mean, if you think about somebody who's comatose, and I mean showing no signs at all, it's a big, big difference to have them open their eyes, isn't it? And to blink, even just blink, or begin to utter small messages like yes or no. In other words, when somebody's been hammered really almost to death, on their way back up as they recover, isn't that exciting? Isn't that what we all kind of dance about? They've recovered. Well, not 100%. Let's face it, he's not out doing golf no more. He's not doing his job yet. He can't. Why? He's had a full tilt stroke, man. A lot of his mind got wrecked. Or whatever happened in your life. I know a friend who was like that, so that's why I use that example. Everything's about Jesus. Everything's about the Father. Everything's about the Spirit. There's not three gods, there's one. And he's in us. And with us and among us. It's a new and living way. It isn't an ethical obstacle course. It's a new and living way, built upon grace and kindness and acceptance way beyond what you and I deserve. I'm getting all dark now. The sun's going down. I forgot to turn on a light. Cheapskate. I just wanted to get with you. I just want to talk with you. When the censorship comes down, we rise up. And you know what we say? We say the truth, just like we're saying here today. Jesus is kind. Jesus is true. Jesus, he is the one who rules. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. He's coming down here to make things right. You better get straight with him, or there'll be terrible consequence. I wouldn't wish that upon any human being. He's terrifying. I'm not kidding. You guys have a good night. But he's good. Oh, so good. Have a good evening, and God bless you.